Family is where our story begins. That's a very powerful statement. But I'm also thinking, where does the story begin for those who don't understand the significance of belonging to a family? By the way, what's your definition or understanding of family? Do you love your family? Are you proud of your family? It is believed that through the most difficult and intense moments in life, it is the family that can provide comfort and reassurance. Moreover, when members of our families are going through hardships, we can provide assistance to them. In essence, the family should be a symbolic support system that strengthens and encourages each of its members. Unfortunately, this is commonly not the case, as we have seen a general breakdown of the family system over the past couple of generations. The concept of family is a rather complicated subject to most people. This episode emphasizes the need to understand and appreciate our families and how to resolve kindred problems. With that said, viewers, let us journey with Nanaya as she walks us through some of the most difficult situations she faced growing up in her family. This is my best friend and I.
When I look at you as an individual, like as a sister, as a lady, when I look at you as someone that, when somebody gets close to you, like you've seen it all, like like you could literally say, but at the same time, there is this beauty about you, you know. Now, walk us through some of the most difficult parts that you ever have to walk in this journey of life.
But I've had loads.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out which one to choose from. It'll probably be the Liberia situation where I didn't have my mom or dad there. I was still with my little brother. Mm-hmm. And then he passed away. So it was just left with me. And I felt like, we came here together. We were struggling together. We had each other. And
okay.
It was no more. So I felt alone.
Your voice, what's happening now? Do you want to cry or something? Are you breaking down?
Yeah, I'm trying to not cry right now. But no, it's that side of me that's really it's hard. I mean, it's been so many years now, but it's still hard. That was my little brother, like because we got met together, and having to come back home to Ghana without him was like, man,
wow.
There in another country.
What you want to walk us through what actually happened to your brother? What happened in the war?
He actually died before the war. He died, I think, 3 months. 3 months when the war broke out over there. But before he died, he got ill. I mean, now when I tell people what happened and what he went through, he had these things. Now people say maybe he was cancer. Some people say did something to him. Like basically, we ended up with this lady who, apparently, she wanted a relationship, but she wanted to be with my dad. Because my dad is blasphemous, and back then he was new, and all the women, all of them, everybody wants to be with my family. And I think they were different. She was actually friends with my mom and my auntie. Mm-hmm. And then somehow she found her way and moved her way into my dad's life. And I think they had a relationship. But the thing is, neither my dad or my mom hasn't really sat me down to tell me the exact story or what really went on.
Don't you think they're protecting you from something? But you
I don't know. I think it's more of a guilt for them because I ended up losing my brother in the process. I ended up losing an eye, for whatever mistake or whatever reasons or whatever decisions they made to let us go over there without them. I didn't have a good education. So I think it's more of a guilt thing.
Your dad and mom decided to throw you guys into
I don't know
for what reason. Like
idea that was. You ended up with this woman, and she took us in because I think she felt by taking us with her, then she'll get my dad, and we'll probably move with her in Liberia. And that didn't happen. So
Wow.
in the end, we paid for his thing.
Children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb, a reward from Him. Like arrows in the hands of a warrior are children, born in one's youth. Psalm 127, the 3rd to the 4th verse. Ezekiel, I hear the people of Israel using the old saying, sour grapes eaten by fathers leave a sour taste in the mouths of their children. Ezekiel chapter 18, the 2nd verse. Whoever brings ruin on their family will inherit the wind, and the fool will be a servant to the wise. Proverbs 11, the 29th verse.
Here we are. That was alternative truth from my best friend, who always tells me that if anyone should speak, they should do so as one who speaks the very words of God. Communication is key. Might be an overused saying, but its valid truth gives us the reason for its continuous usage. It is very true that effective communication is an important characteristic of a strong, healthy family. Communication is an essential building block of strong marital, parent-child, and sibling relationship, and within the family, it is extremely important because it enables members to express their needs, wants, and concerns to each other. It is through communication that family members are able to find solutions to their problems. But what about instances where it's so difficult for family members to have a conversation on how to iron their differences? With that said, let's find out more on this subject matter from Nanaya, and when we return, alternative truths from our best friend. This is my best friend and I.
Why haven't you asked the mommy, for the truth? Because one way or the other, I'm just going to ask you, as much as why haven't you got the courage to say, listen, Mom, you owe it to me to tell me the truth?
I tend to feel bad and sorry for my mom because it's like I said, I think the loss of my brother is enough. And the guilt, guilt has a way of eating you up, and I mean, we had a little conversation one time, and she cried, and it broke my heart. She said, I was going through a lot, Nanya, at one point, and my dad wasn't there, for her, and she was really hustling, because she was a singer.
Would your dad be happy, you bringing this on?
No, he won't, because I had an interview a few years ago, and I told her like it was, because at the end of the day, it's my story, you know what I mean? Yes, these things happen, but it was in the past, but it happened to me. It is my life, and if I need to tell people, about me and what I went through, sorry if you feel bad. It is what it is. That's what happened. You guys made that happen to me. I went through that because of both your mistakes. So, when I was younger, I tried to shield my mom, like, why is everybody? And I was young. I didn't understand why everybody was, like, the mommy. I was actually blaming my dad. So I felt like she was his girlfriend. He took us, and every slap and every whoop that I got, she would mention my dad. And your dad this, and your dad that. And so that put a lot of anger in me towards my dad.
The secret things belong unto the Lord our God, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. Deuteronomy 29, the 29th verse. Honor your father and mother. This is the first commandment with a promise that it may go well with you and that you may live long in the land. Ephesians chapter 6, the 2nd to the 3rd verse. Can a mother forget the baby at her breast and have no compassion on the child she has born? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. Isaiah 49, the 15th verse. Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. Ephesians 6, the 4th verse.
Welcome back to My Best Friend and I, brought to you by To Rise and Lord Raz. Resentment, they say, is like taking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Most of us have harbored negative emotions towards our families for a long time, and that negativity has eaten most of us up. These negative emotions have gone a long way to affect our work relations, friendships, and most especially our romantic relationships and marriages. Let's find out more on this subject matter, and when we return, you know what? My best friend brings us all the alternative truths.
Do you still have that resentment, that anger?
I did for a long time. I didn't speak to my dad for a long time, but now we're cool.
Did it eat you up so bad? Like,
oh, so
and,
bad.
You know, one thing I've learned about anger is like, it takes you deep down a road where you don't want to go.
Yeah.
And the more you're angry at one person at a particular time, you don't progress.
Nope, and that happened to me. Yep.
So you were not progressing.
It didn't help me.
You were not progressing at all.
And you know, like he was sitting there living his life in Canada or New York somewhere, you know, and I'm here, you know, crying and hating him, and I was doing nothing to do with him. But I was cool with my mom. And then it got to a point in my life, even my mom now, you know, I forgave her and everything, but she wouldn't allow me in. So I'm thinking, okay, hang on a minute. You guys are the one that's done me wrong here. My mom was a little bit remorseful.
All right.
But then sometimes she pushes me away. So I felt like that's where the guilt came in. It's just like, you know, she's going through all this, still loves me, giving me, she's still cool with me, and all that. And that's the energy I felt from my mom at one point. Like,
all right.
And then my dad had this thing like, well, I don't owe you nothing, and I'm thinking. And when I was young, I was really close to my dad. So I felt, when I started feeling that gap in distance, and it made me, I was angry at him more, and I'm thinking, what's going on?
I didn't get the support from him as my dad. You know, you're an artist. You're huge. You're the golden voice of Africa, for goodness sake. Mm-hmm. I'm your daughter. I'm doing the same thing. I'm singing. You know, the least you could do is try to point me in the right direction. You know, advise me. Be interested in my music. Be in my life. Be a part of my life, because you left me in Liberia for all these years. And I was mad at you for all these years. I didn't talk to you. Now we're talking. And it's like, the more I try to get close to him, the more it's like he didn't want to know.
Fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged. Colossians 3, the 21st verse. The eye that mocks a father and scorns a mother, the ravens of the valley will prick it out, and the young eagles will eat it. Proverbs 30, the 17th verse. And don't sin by letting anger control you. Don't let the sun go down while you are still angry, for anger gives a foothold to the devil. Ephesians 4, the 26th to the 27th verse.
This is My Best Friend and I. Welcome back, fellas. There is this Akan proverb that always comes to mind anytime I feel people who offend and hurt me are wrong and I am right for being angry at them. It goes something like this. Ni o twa kwan no, onim se ne chia eden achia. Come to think of it, have you ever gotten to a point where you say to yourself, this is too much for me to bear. I need counseling. Have you?
That process, you know, running away, coming back home, did you get counseling?
No, sir.
No counseling.
I would still have to. I have to. I know.
You still have to.
I have to.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
Then that means there's a lot.
Yeah, because I'm still going. You know, I have lots of experiences as a woman, and you know, my manager, who's my cousin, she's my pillar. She's my backbone. She's really. How do I put it? You know, she always knows what to say when I'm going a certain way, and she wouldn't say, oh, because you're Nanaya, so oh, no, it's okay. No, if she'll tell you, she'll tell it like it is. But then she'll also be the same person who calm me down.
When you talk about, yeah.
So and even till today, her and my this producer that I used to work with, he said to me, you know, Charlie, what you went through, you need counseling. You really do need counseling, because I don't know whether you like it or not. It's bugged you, and I haven't really for a long time. I didn't really sit down to think. Actually, yeah, I do need counseling.
Here we are again. That was Nanaya. With that said, beautiful people, let's go find out alternative truths from our best friend.
Through insolence comes nothing but strife, but wisdom is with those who receive counsel. Proverbs 13, the 10th verse. Without consultation, plans are frustrated, but with many counselors, they succeed. Proverbs 15, the 22nd verse. Where there is no guidance, the people fall, but in abundance of counselors, there is victory. Proverbs 11, the 14th verse.
Here we are again, right here on My Best Friend and I, brought to you by To Rise and Lord Raz. Now, to everybody watching, in your moment of truth, when no one is watching and life's reality hits you real hard, do you say to yourself, am I lost? This is My Best Friend and I.
Do you sometimes look at yourself and you're like, Nanaya, I'm lost?
I used to.
Do you like say?
And I was scared. Not necessarily lost. I don't know what word to use, but
Broken.
maybe broken. Because I tend to, because I have this huge insecurity about me. And,
What is that?
and I know it. A lot of not going to school. That
You
plays
speak a great deal of English.
a big part of it. Thank you. I self-taught myself. Like when the kids come back from school, I would go and sneak in their bags and try to read their books, and I used to try to teach myself how to write longhand and stuff like that. After cooking and cleaning, of course, and then I'll sneak it back in. So yeah, I just wanted to go to school, and that didn't happen. So I just hung in there, and then my music kept me alive. I would sing all the time, and then I knew I wanted to sing, but I didn't know what to do about it. So all I knew is, okay, I'm sure when I go back home to Ghana, someday.
There you have it. Time for alternative truths from our best friend on this sensitive issue.
Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Matthew 11, the 28th to the 30th verse. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147, the 3rd verse. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Psalm 34, the 18th verse.
Well, where would I be without my best friend? Bringing us all these alternative truths, shaping lives, giving hope to the brokenhearted. The basic connections between family will always be love. Remind your parents, siblings, cousins, children, and to everybody out there of this truth. Family means putting your arms around each other and being there. Till next time, on My Best Friend and I, remember, nothing is better than going home to a cheerful and loving family.